Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech, and I wanted to talk about the difference between the Fitbit Flex and the Fitbit Versa. Now, whenever I get a new piece of tech, I always get asked questions about it. A lot of the people that I know personally are always wondering what I'm carrying on me as far as a phone or a tablet or a watch, and so I get questions quite often. And the Fitbit has always been like my consistent device because I'll switch back and forth between iPhone and Android, and Fitbit is really the only kind of cross-platform device that gives me the features and the tracking information that I want, and can go between the two different platforms. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between these two because they're significantly price different and they also offer a lot of different features. So the Fitbit Flex is one of Fitbit's original devices. It's simply a tracker of movement. It doesn't track your heart rate or really anything else, but it does have an extremely long battery life. And now with the Fitbit Flex 2, it's waterproof. I mean, it is a pretty fantastic little piece of tech. However, it doesn't give you that full spectrum of data like the Fitbit Versa does. The Fitbit Versa also tracks your heart rate and has other sensors inside of it. And especially with the heart rate, it's able to tell a lot more about how your fitness is going. Of course, if with just the movement or the activity tracker, if you're running or doing anything, it only can track your movement. It can't track any additional data. Having the heart rate data in the Fitbit Versa, of course, gives it the ability to give you a little bit more rich information. It can track kind of the different zones, whether you're in like more of a fat burn zone or a higher cardio zone. It can track all of that stuff. And an alternative to that, when you're sleeping, it can also track and give you much better sleep data because it can track where your heart rate is. It learns where your resting heart rate is when you're awake, where your resting heart rate is when you're sleeping, maybe when you're walking. It's knowing and being able to kind of pull all that data together and give you a better look at what your sleep looks like. So for me, I really like that because now I know the quality of my sleep as opposed to just being awake or asleep, which you're only going to get that awake or asleep with the standard Fitbit, and a lot of other watches are really only giving you that information as well. So you get a lot better data out of the Fitbit Versa as far as that goes. So beyond that, the Fitbit Versa also has a nice display. You can see the information here on it, which with the Fitbit Flex, you have the kind of the LEDs here, and it shows you where you're at. But as far as exact data, you have to go to your phone app for that, and that data, there isn't really much of it there. So it's really more of just like your standard step counter as far as that goes, where the Versa adds a lot more. With the Versa, you can you can see incoming calls and text messages. You can hang up on a call if you need to. With a future update for Android, you're going to be able to respond to your text messages from the watch. Probably not on the iPhone because Apple locks that down, but at least you could still see the text messages. Also, your calendar activity, you'll get your notifications popping up here, which is great. I like being able to tap between my heart rate, my steps, and my calories burned for the day. There are some apps in here, your exercise and coach apps, which are fantastic. If you're doing, going for a run or doing something like that, you can track that. And then there's also coaches right here. So maybe you have a little bit of free time, you're at the gym, or maybe you're on a lunch break. You've got, 10-minute abs, a 7-minute workout, just some different coach activities that you can use in here. And then, of course, if you subscribe to that within the Fitbit app, you get access to a ton more stuff, which is great. I mean, it's good to have that just right in your watch, and you can see the movements on the screen. You can do those workouts. That's something that you would need an app. You need your phone or something like that if you're going to do that with a Flex. Alarms, of course, you can set alarms for the Fitbit Flex to wake you up. However, the Fitbit Versa vibrates a lot harder. I've gotten to the point where I just wouldn't feel the vibration of the Fitbit Flex in the morning, but the Fitbit Versa I definitely feel because it has a bigger vibration, I guess you could say. Of course, there's also the screen feedback there, whereas with the Fitbit Flex, probably in my sleep, I just tap it a couple of times and then it shuts up. whereas the Fitbit Versa, I've got to push a button on the side to shut it up, I guess you could say. Weather data, timers, Starbucks app, Pandora. I mean, my Nest. I can do some minimal smartwatch stuff with this watch, which is great. I could sync some music over to it, connect some Bluetooth headphones. It's just not as great of a process as some other devices, but it's better than nothing, which the Fitbit Flex doesn't offer that stuff. So overall, the battery life on your Fitbit Flex is going to be a little bit better. I normally get about 4 to 5 days out of my Fitbit Flex, and it's a bit old, where on the Fitbit Versa, I get 3 to 4 days, depending on the usage. If I'm not working out, not really doing anything too active, I'm getting 4 days easy out of the Fitbit Versa. If I'm using the activity trackers, the coach, using a little bit more of the features inside the watch, it may even dip down into the 2-day range. But what's nice about it is that it charges up fast. On average, I'm getting about 3.5 days of use out of the Fitbit Versa. I love all of the data that it's giving me. It's giving me better data over and above the Flex. And so with that said, I think the price difference is definitely worth it. So if you're looking for something that you can wear 24/7 to track your movement throughout the day, track your workouts when you have time for fitness, track your sleep because that's important to you, the Fitbit Versa is definitely going to be a much better all-around overall device. So if you're thinking about upgrading from a Flex or maybe even jumping in and deciding what Fitbit is right for you, it really comes down to what kind of data you're wanting and how you're wanting to interact with that data. The Fitbit Versa is definitely going to give you a lot more data, a lot better insight into that data in the Fitbit app, as I've kind of shown you on screen while I've been talking. But the Fitbit Flex is really small, really minimal, stays out of the way, isn't a distraction, and so there are things to be said about the Fitbit Flex and the simplicity. So really, you just have to kind of consider the data and what you want to be wearing on you all the time. If you're wanting a watch, if you're wanting that better data, if you're wanting a little bit of minimal notifications from your phone, the Versa is a no-brainer there. Now, if you're wondering about the Versa between the Apple Watch, I have a video for that. I also have a comparison video between the Versa and the Apple Watch, so you can check those out. I'll make sure to link to those in the description below. If you're considering purchasing one of these, the links are also down in the description below. When you click on those links, it helps support our channel here, keeps us alive and well, so make sure to do that. And I hope that this video was useful. If you did find it useful, click that thumbs up, subscribe to our channel here to get updates when we put out new videos. So until next time, I hope that you enjoy your day, your week, and hope to see you back here soon on State of Tech. Thanks a lot.